One of the young Navajo volunteers like Jess was Chester Ness. He had grown up tending sheep with his family. In 1934, he had been sent away to a junior high school at Fort Defiance, Arizona, which had once actually been Navajo land. At the school, the teachers tried to train the Navajo not to speak their native language or to follow their customs. They forced them to speak only English. At the school, Chester first learned his birthday was in January 1921. Before that, he had kept track of time by the seasons, not by months and years. He later went to high school in Tuba City, Arizona. He continued to learn English but always spoke Navajo at home. Chester had heard about the Pearl Harbor attack in school. He later wrote, "We had been born to the warrior tradition. Like other Navajos, we saw ourselves as inseparable from the earth we lived upon, and as protectors of what is sacred, we were eager to defend our land." When he was 21 years old, Chester was accepted as a Marine recruit. His roommates at school, Roy Begay, was also part of the original group. Carl Gorman was 35 and that was too old to join, so he changed his age to 30 so he could get in. Dean Wilson was too young to join. In the Marines recruiting office, he saw his file on the desk. He slipped out a paper that showed that his parents had not given their permission and threw it away. "That's how I got in at age 16, he remembered. Will C. Busy was just barely tall enough to qualify for the Marines. Eugene Crawford, William McCabe, and Harry Tosi were amongst the total of 29 Navajo men who were chosen. They got on a bus for a long ride to San Diego, California, where they would go through training called Boot Camp at Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton. After Chester got to the camp, he was given uniforms and weapons. He was shown the bunkhouses where he and the other Navajo Marines would sleep, and he met their trainers called drill instructors. At about 5 o'clock the next morning, the drill instructors woke up Chester and the other Navajo loudly. They burst into the bunk room, yelling and shouting instructions. Chester was very surprised. Navajo people rarely raised their voices. They spoke softly to one another. Life for the 29 Navajo at Camp Pendleton would be very different from life in the Navajo Nation. The Marines kept Chester and the other men to a very tight schedule. Every minute of the day was packed with work, training, or meals. The Navajo were not used to this, and it took a while to adjust. Also, in the Navajo culture, it is not polite to look someone in the eyes. In the Marines, it's a requirement. "Look me in the eye, Marine," the drill instructor screamed at Chester. He had to adjust to his new life quickly. It helped that doing hard work was nothing new. Most of the Navajo had worked all their lives, often outside. They also enjoyed the plentiful food in the Marine camp. Chester's favorite was the canned meat called spam, and he also liked Vienna sausages. The Navajo also proved to be excellent marksmen. Chester had used guns for hunting and protecting his sheep. The all-Navajo platoon 3 Phase 2 earned one of the camp's best scores in pistol and rifle shooting as targets. The Marine trainers were trying to make sure the Navajo and all the Marines were tough and ready to deal with any problems that came up in war. One night, pairs of Marines were sent out to stay in the desert. They were given just one canteen of water. Chester, Carl, and the other Navajo drank the water and then refilled the canteens with liquid from cactus plants. They had learned how to find this water in the deserts on Navajo lands. The other Marines came back with empty canteens. Also, the long miles of marching and running were no problem for the Navajo Marines. They often traveled long distances on foot in the wide open Navajo Nation. The Navajo were not perfect. For missing assignments or for not completing a job, they were giving the Marines a light punishment. Rizzi earned more than the others. For forgetting his rifle one time, he had to stand outside with a bucket on his head. For being late too often, he had to bath Sergeant Stuffy, a bulldog that was a mascot for Camp Pendleton. The man also found time for a little fun. When the Navajo Marines were marching, they often chanted in their native language. The drill instructors thought the Navajo were counting on their steps as they marched. Instead, the Navajo Marines were making jokes about the instructors. After 10 weeks, the Navajo men had become Marines. One of their training commanders wrote to the group, "Yours has been one of the outstanding platoons in the history of this recruit depot. You obey orders like seasoned and disciplined soldiers. You have maintained rugged health. The Marine Corps is proud to have you in its ranks." A few days later, on June 29, all the Navajo Marines were sent to nearby Camp Illilut. They were taken to a room and told they were going to get a special mission. Eugene Crawford remembered it, thinking that if its boring room was their new home, that the mission probably wasn't anything special. But then the group was told that their new assignment in the Marines would be something very secret and something very special indeed. Chapter 3: The Secret Language of War. Why did the Marines need the Navajo men to create a secret code? A big reason was that most of the codes that the United States was using had already been broken by Japan's military. Codes are supposed to be secrets.